We're pleased to welcome Laura Moss, County Commission candidate for District 5.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Dory, for inviting me today, and thank you to the Indian River Chamber of Commerce. For those who don't know me, I'm Laura Moss, and I'm running for Indian River County Commission. That's District 5. Mr. Solari is retiring. Currently, I am the Vice Mayor of the City of Vero Beach, and formerly the Mayor. In fact, I just learned a few weeks ago that I am actually the first woman in the history of the city, more than 100 years, to actually start as mayor. I started at the top. And, I have to say, that was absolutely the most wonderful job being the mayor. It's a little bit like being the wizard. It was great fun, and I was very much dedicated to it and proud of my accomplishments during that period of time. Not only did I get the electric sale done, but on the other end of it, I brought back coffee with the mayor. So one of the things I love about politics is actually two things: people and problem solving. And to me, that's really all it is. And if you love those two things, you love politics. And I do. I wish I had started sooner. But I'm so enjoying it. But Coffee with the Mayor was an opportunity for me to reach out to the community and for them also to speak to me in an informal venue. See, the way I approach the job is they don't have to come to me. And by that I mean city council meetings. I don't expect people to take time out of their busy lives to come to city council meetings. I go to them, and I'm known for that. I have worn my name badge every day when I'm out publicly since I was elected in November of 2016, and have had some incredibly interesting conversations as a result of that. I really think that's the key. I think government should be a partnership with the people. I think you need to be with them, to be accessible, to reach out to them. That's one of the things I would hope to do as a member of the County Commission. I think that's something where there's room for improvement, and by that I mean relationships between County Commission and each of the municipalities, and also the relationship between County Commission and the people. And I feel very confident that I can do that because I enjoy it. So frankly, it's easy for me. But in preparing myself to run for this position, I've served on the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee, for example, since 2016, and the Metropolitan Planning Organization, again, since 2016. And for those who might not know, that organization handles the transportation needs for the county and the transportation planning. So that's an important organization. And more recently, the last couple of years, I added to that the Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council in 2018. And for those who might not know, that involves all 4 counties, so it's a larger area and larger issues. And most recently, the Tourist Development Council. Because as we all know, tourism is such an important part of our economy here. I thought it was really important for me to gain that understanding. And all of these boards I mentioned, by the way, with the exception of the Treasure Coast Regional Planning Council, they are advisory boards to the County Commission. So in other words, you're gaining insight and you're giving advice to the County Commission. And I think that's key. I think you need to do your homework. I think you need to be prepared for any job. It's a job. This is a job interview. And you want to get that job. You want to be elected, but you want to be prepared for that job. So I think I've done that. I'm comfortable that I am ready to take this position. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to be mayor right off the bat. And by the way, for those who don't know, I came into that position from the Utilities Commission where I was chairwoman. So it was pretty much seamless. In the morning when I woke up, I was chairwoman of the Utilities Commission, and by the evening, I was the mayor. It was that kind of thing. It was seamless. But that gives you practice. That gives you the opportunity to learn how to run something. I mean, I learned on Utilities Commission, so I was ready as mayor. In fact, the local media had said that about me. They used me as an argument not to have a 3-year term. You might recall we had a referendum about that a few years ago, and they said, well, we don't need 2 years. We need 2 years. Look at Laura Moss. She just hit the ground running. She just did it. She was the mayor day one. Bam, she had it. And that's I feel that. Very confident, but not in an arrogant way. I'm confident because I've done my homework, and because I've already reached out to so many people. For example, and this goes countywide too. I did serve on the board of directors for the Roseland Community Association. So that's, for those who don't know, it's up in Sebastian, and that was back in 2015. That was, it was years ago. So I've been out in the county, talking to people and understanding issues for a very long time. I'm happy to say. So I feel fully prepared for this office. I feel that my accomplishments in terms of the electric sale and other areas. I'll give you one other example. We redid the comprehensive plan for the city of Vero Beach. It hadn't been done since 1992. It had not been updated, and I became the mayor. It's hundreds of pages, so I'm sitting there with it, and I'm thinking, well, and by the way, nobody gives you any instructions. They just all of a sudden it's on your desk. So I remember saying to myself, well, I'm the mayor. If I don't read every word, who's going to do it? So I did. And what came out of that was, I spent every weekend for months sitting there at City Hall, and line by line, I ended up with 8 pages that were line by line by line by line. And that turned into 25 pages back from the staff. And we went over it for a period of months. And I think it takes that kind of hard work and that kind of diligence. I think you deserve that. That's what I want as someone who lives here. That's what I try to be, what I would expect of others, who hold office. I try to be that. And of course, you have some that are always a concern, such as the lagoon. And I was looking at in addition to that, the county budget from last year, and looking at their deferred maintenance issues that came up last year at budget time. I assume it will come up again for them this year in budget issues. They still had a fairly significant amount of money to spend on that. So I would look to do that. And I know we're trying to create clean jobs here, and I support that. I'm wondering if we can do something with the mall out there, that Indian River Mall. I think I would try to do that. I think I would try to do something with that. If you want something specific. But, in addition to that, I read something a few days ago, and I'll say it because I don't think this is going to change in the next few days. This was a Wall Street Journal survey that was done that said that 80%, literally 80% of people feel that the country's out of control. And so maybe that's our largest issue right now. And when COVID began, the first thing I said to the city attorney was, don't cancel any meetings. I don't care if we have only 3 people. I think what people need is reassurance. They need to see that the government is in place and that no one leaves their post, not ever. So I think that's really important during this period of time, to have very strong leadership, to have the courage to come forward and be a leader. And I don't mean that in a high-handed, arrogant way. I don't mean that looking down at people from the dais. I mean a grassroots leader, someone who's out there with the people and reflects the wishes of the people. I think the leader should be a mirror, in a sense, that shows the best that the community is. I think the community should see themselves in their leader. And that's what I would hope to aspire to in the position, to live up to the wishes, the desires, and the needs of the community. And as far as specific issues go, they'll change over time. This is a 4-year term, for those who don't know. So the budget numbers will change, the issues will change, and other than the electric sale, which was years ago, I don't think there are too many, single issue years. And this, I don't see this as being one of them, unless you want to say, as I said earlier, the issue is uncertainty, that it's out of control. If I had to say that there's a single issue, that is it. And I feel very confident in being a leader. I'm known for that. I'm known for taking a position, sticking with it, never wavering, don't back down, don't give up, go the distance on it. And if it ends up being a 4-1 vote, so be it. I stay with things, and I have a proven track record, which anyone can access, by the way. All of the meetings are videotaped. All of the meetings have minutes. Everything is on the city website, which is covb.org. And as I said, we never stopped having our meetings during this period of time. And I think that's really the key. But to get back, just to touch upon briefly some of the issues I see, workforce housing, for example, is an issue. And to give you some information on that, as I said earlier, have been on the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee since 2016. But here's the story on that. We had one meeting in 2017. We didn't meet at all in 2018. But then we were just getting momentum. We met 5 times in 2019, which was really terrific. So it was a shame to have COVID, because we did have our first meeting this year, and then we were forced to discontinue that. We are going to have a virtual meeting coming up later this month, but I think that's one of the key issues, because that'll be an economic driver. People need a place to live. So I'm looking forward to working on that kind of issue. And as I said earlier, I feel very well prepared to do any of these tasks, whether it's tourism, affordable housing, transportation. I've served on all the commissions and committees now, for years. So I have the experience. I don't need to make promises, because I've already done things. You can look at my record. I'm not asking you to predict what I'm going to do. You can see what I have done. I'll stand on my record. I'm not going to change. I'll be the same person, and I love it. So please vote for me, and don't forget, it's August 18th, the primary. So, it's so important. That's one of our basic, or probably the most basic right that we have. So don't forget to exercise it. For women, we've been able to vote only about 100 years, when other women fought very hard for us to have that right. So we have no excuse not to vote. And for the men, historically, men have died for that vote. I know we have women in the military now, but historically it's been mainly men. You've died for this. And women fought very hard to get it. So please don't take it for granted. Please vote on Tuesday, August 18th.